Welcome back to The Little Game Helper, the podcast where we take a tabletop RPG, strip away the confusion, and give you the information you need to get it to your table. Today, we're heading into the wasteland with TorqueBorg, a rules light, art heavy, post apocalyptic RPG where the world has ended and radiation has made everything horrible. And apparently, the best solution is to put giant engine on a drivetrain and go really fast. If you ever wanted Mad Max, mutants, weird cults, giant bugs, psychic powers, and heavily modified vehicles mixed together with the wonderfully miserable attitude of the Borg family, this one is right up your alley. So, what is TorqueBorg? TorqueBorg is a post-apocalyptic tabletop RPG set at the end of the world. Or, more accurately, at the end of the world again. The world is gone. Radiation has twisted the landscape. Beasts, bugs, thugs, and other nightmares are wandering around looking for something to eat. And unfortunately, that something may be you. The game is designed to be rules light and art heavy. So it's not trying to bury you under hundreds of pages of complicated mechanics. The idea is simple: kill, scavenge, survive. And if you can do these three things while driving a heavily modified death machine across the wasteland, then even better. TorqueBorg is compatible with games such as Morkborg, Cyborg, and Wasteland Degenerates, but you don't need any of these games to play. TorqueBorg is designed as a self-contained RPG, and with more than 150 pages, there's a lot packed into the radioactive package. The setting. The world of TorqueBorg is what happens when civilization takes a really, really bad day and turns it into an entire planet. Radiation has reshaped the land and created mutants, monsters, and all kinds of unpleasant surprises. Civilization isn't exactly thriving. You've got factions fighting for control, desperate survivors trying to stay alive, and plenty of people who have decided that the best response to the apocalypse is apparently forming a cult. Honestly, I'm not sure they're completely wrong. The game has 6 factions, each with its own place in the waste, giving the GM plenty of material for conflicts, enemies, alliances, and adventures. And because this is a post apocalyptic game, there's one resource everyone desperately wants: stuff. Food, equipment, weapons, drugs, vehicles, spare parts, you name it. If it isn't nailed down, somebody is probably going to steal it. And if it is nailed down, someone will probably steal the nails. Character creation. TorqueBorg gives you 8 classes, and they're about as subtle as a tire iron to the face. You've got Wretched Headhunter, the Doomed Acolyte, the Savage Beastmaster, the Unbridled Esper, the Mutated Biopunk, Boiled Butcher, the Insidious Artificer, and the Unstable Cultist. That's right, I mispronounced at least half of those. There's an entire class dedicated to being an unstable cultist. So you know this game understands its audience. Each class has its own flavor and mechanics, meaning your character isn't just guy with gun number 4. You can build something that feels very different from the other characters at this table. And considering how dangerous the waste is, you're probably going to get plenty of opportunities to try different characters. Because death happens. A lot. Radiation and mutations. One of the big features of the game is radiation, because apparently the apocalypse wasn't dangerous enough already. Your characters have to deal with radiation exposure, and if you aren't careful, you can become permanently changed. Sometimes those changes can give you powerful new abilities, which sounds great. until you discover that your cool new mutation comes with a horrible drawback. So radiation becomes a bit of a gamble. Do you risk exposure for the possibility of becoming more powerful? Or do you stay clean and boring? Personally, if I'm playing post-apocalyptic RPG, I'm probably going to touch the glowing thing. Augs and psychic powers. Radiation can also awaken strange psychic abilities, called Augs. There are 12 devastating Augs, giving characters some seriously strange powers. But because TorqueBorg apparently doesn't believe players should have nice things, there are 20 bash-like effects for when those powers go horribly wrong. So, every time you unleash some horrifying psychic ability, there's a chance the universe responds with, "Oh yeah? Watch this." And suddenly you're dealing with a completely different problem. Vehicles. Now let's get to the really fun stuff. Vehicles. TorqueBorg includes rules for vehicles and vehicular combat, and it isn't just a case of saying, "You drive here." Vehicles are a major part of this game. You can tear across the wasteland on your own ride, customize it, arm it, and turn it into a rolling death machine. There's a bunch of vehicle modifications covering weapons, defenses, and utility, so your vehicle can become more than transportation. It becomes part of your character. And naturally, once you've spent all that time tuning your car into the armored missile launcher with questionable steering, everybody wants to blow it up. Vehicular combat is designed to be fast, aggressive, and lethal, which fits the setting perfectly. The Doomsday Clock. Oh, yeah, and then there's the Doomsday Clock. The game has an escalating countdown towards the end of the world, again, and there's only 6 minutes till midnight. I think that's a song. And the events escalate as the clock advances. And this gives the GM a built in way to make the campaign feel like things are getting progressively worse. Because they are. And let's be honest, when your game's central premise is the world already ended, having another apocalypse coming is pretty impressive. It's like the universe looked at the first apocalypse and said, hold my beer. Oh, and the enemies. TorqueBorg includes more than 50 enemies, ranging from mutated beasts and bugs to thugs and strange astral horrors. And they're not here just to make your life difficult. The game also includes enemy generators, making it easy for the GM to throw something completely new at you. Which means you could start a session thinking, "Today we're going to explore abandoned settlement," and 5 minutes later you're fighting radioactive mutant beetles riding motorcycles. That's the wasteland. So, who's this game for? TorqueBorg is probably going to appeal to the players who enjoy rules-light RPGs, post-apocalyptic settings, and games where characters can go from barely surviving to radioactive lunatic driving a weaponized shopping cart in about 15 minutes. So if you like Mad Max, Fallout, mutants, weird science, dangerous vehicles, and extremely questionable survival decisions, there's a lot to dig into. It's also useful for GMs because many of the tables and generators can be pulled out and used in other games. You can steal the setting, you can steal the classes, you can steal the monsters, you can steal the vehicle rules. Basically, if something's useful, take it. That's the wasteland. Nobody's checking your pockets. So that's it for TorqueBorg. This rules light, art heavy, post apocalyptic RPG where radiation mutates you, vehicles can become rolling weapons platforms, psychic powers can go horribly wrong, and the end of the world is apparently running on the countdown timer. It looks like a game built for people who want their apocalypse loud, weird, colorful, and extraordinarily dangerous. If your idea of relaxing is sitting around a campfire discussing your feelings and carefully planning your retirement, This probably isn't your game. But if your idea of fun is screaming, "Hit the nitro!" while your mutant friend fires a homemade cannon at a giant radioactive bug, welcome to the wasteland. Now, grab some dice, start your engine, and remember, if it's glowing, it's probably dangerous. And if it's glowing and moves towards you, shoot it. So until next time, thank you for listening to The Little Game Helper.